This is the 2026 Acura MDX A-Spec. Is it worth every penny? Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. Today we're back at Acura, where if you come into this particular dealership and tell whoever you work with from the sales staff that you saw my video on the new Acura model that you want to buy, you'll get $500 off. That's the Vehicle Visionary discount. Take advantage of that. Make sure you tell whoever you're working with about that at the first portion of your deal right up front. We're going to go over the particulars on this model. If you want to know more about it, check out the link down in the description of the video. The exterior color is called Platinum White, and it has a red interior. Definitely something that is going to set you apart from a lot of other people out there and their vehicles. Tell me what you think about this particular color combination. Personally, I think the red interior works with this model. Very classic look here on the front end. As far as any Acura model goes, you're going to have your jewel eye LED headlights. You're going to have the LED daytime running lights. I like the overall design here. Also, your LED turn signal indicators. And to finish things off, we have LED fog lights. Something to make everybody happy here. The diamond pentagon grille with the Acura logo in the middle. It looks like somebody just took that and threw it right into the middle. Now, it looks like everything is flowing towards that to some people. To some people, it might look like it's all flowing away from it. But I like the overall design. It looks very nice. A very aggressive but sporty look with the overall design of the MDX. 20-inch wheels is what you're going to find here, but they're not gloss black. You're going to have a gray finish here. So for those of you that say, Tom, I'm not a big fan of gloss black, you'll notice you have a little bit on the front end. But then as you work your way onto the side, the surround on the fenders and then everything on the body, except for that one area right there on the door, is going to be a matte black finish. Now we will have a gloss finish here with the upper areas as far as the surround for the windows, the mirror caps on the mirrors. We'll find turn signal indicators built in. Quite a bit going on here with these mirrors. They're heated, they're power adjustable. You're going to have blind spot monitoring built in, which is right here. It's not actually part of the mirrors. And one last thing, when you push this button, you can fold those mirrors in. They'll also do that when you lock and unlock the vehicle. Speaking of locking and unlocking, here is the remote engine hold. That is remote start. You have lock, unlock, you can open and close your power tailgate, and your panic button right there. We'll have a panoramic sunroof up top with our shark fin antenna, the rear roof spoiler here to finish things off. There's your rear window wiper if you need that. LED tail lights that have a very similar design to what we saw with the headlights. Everything on the front end. Another A-Spec logo, the MDX logo, and you know that this model is going to be all-wheel drive. Under the hood is the naturally aspirated 3.5-liter V6 that puts out 290 horsepower, 267 pounds-feet of torque. All of that will be mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission. Take a look at the MPGs on the window sticker. Here's what we have: 19 city, 25 highway, 21 combined, 4.8 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. When it comes to your gas tank size, it's going to be 18.5 gallons. On a single tank of gas, you should be able to drive about 351 miles in the city and about 462 miles out on the highway. Towing comes in at 3,500 pounds. If you want to open the tailgate with the hands-free feature, you just kick your foot under the bumper right there and you're good to go. Now, depending on how you set things up here in the rear seating area, you have 16.3 up to 39.1 to a maximum 71.4 cubic feet. Underneath the floor, we'll find a little bit more storage space. That's always nice to see. You can flip this floor over if you want to. I'll see if I can do this one-handed for you without messing up the shot too badly there. But the advantage to that is that not only can you find out how coordinated you are with one hand when you're holding a camera in the other, but depending on what you're hauling back here, if the rear seat backs are up here with the third row and you don't want the carpet to get dirty, maybe you're hauling a plant or something like that, you can always flip this over. And here is something that should make a lot of people very happy, and that is the presence of a spare tire. There are multiple ways to open and close your power tailgate, but there's one way in particular to close it that I'm about to show you that you might not know about. Now, you have the button on the lift gate itself up there, the button on the remote, and the button on the driver's side door. But aside from what we have right here that I didn't tell you about earlier, there's your 12-volt power outlet. If you push that button, I'm going to stand right here, and notice I'm not doing anything. I'll just leave my hand right here so you can see I'm not doing anything at all. You gather up everything you need back here, both hands are full, and you want to just walk away and have your power lift gate closed. Well, once you push that button and walk away, here's what's going to happen. I'd say that was about 10 to 15 seconds, give or take a little bit. As long as you stand under the lift gate, it's not going to close. When you walk away, it will. That is one of the advantages that you have here. Personally, I think that's a really cool feature. The interior will feature nice large armrests, especially here in the rear. The only thing I wish was different, when you put your arm up here, you have that angled area at the front. I wish it was completely flat, but it's not. We do have plenty of room with the door bin right here, and you will have the removable middle row seat. That's very useful, very helpful. You just use the release right here. That allows you to do that. You will have to fold the seat back down, but that works very well. And to gain access to the third row, we push the button right here. That gets the seat up and out of the way. Maybe not the most space you can have in the third row of a vehicle, but it is here. Show you what's going on where that is concerned. And you're going to have your cup holder right here. You will find the nice large panoramic sunroof. You have the shade right there that can be drawn forward, and that front portion from here forward will open. And there is plenty of storage back here, including the door bins and the rear seat pockets, one on each seat. And we have our third zone of climate control, dual in the front, single in the rear. You can adjust the temperature, the fan speed. You can see what all is here. And we have our air conditioning vents right here, putting out quite a bit of air. I'm going to turn that down so that doesn't mess up our audio. And you're going to find your USB ports right here and another 12-volt power outlet. We'll also find that if you need it, your middle row seat passengers need it. You can fold the seat back down here on the middle seat and have the cup holders, a little bit of space right here. It can be used as an armrest, but it is pretty low to use as an armrest. And you'll find the shades that can be manually put in place. Kind of hard to do one-handed there, but there you go. These are the privacy shades. You'll have one of these on each door. And also the oh crap handles right there to grab onto if somebody doesn't drive very well, they're taking the corners too fast. I don't think anybody's going to grab onto those because of 290 horsepower. When you hop into the interior, here's what's going to happen. There's what you're going to see and hear. We'll reach over here and start the engine, pushing the button right there, and you can see everything come to life. Now I'm going to turn the fan speed down a little bit for the AC, and the reason I'm going to do that is because I know you're wanting to know what the sticker price is. It's $64,350. Let's see what else you can expect to find for that sticker price. The driver and passenger seats are power adjustable, they're heated and ventilated, and they both have lumbar support. You can also raise and lower the height of the passenger seat. Now we're going to have a larger door bin and a larger armrest here for the driver and passenger seats. You will find seat memory on both sides here in the front. We'll also have plenty of room within the glove box. And we'll work our way over here to the driver's side door. Again, there's your seat memory. You can lock and unlock the doors, control everything with your power side view mirrors, lock and unlock all of the windows, and control the windows right here. You can see some of your other functionality here as far as safety features, traction control. You're going to have your park assist. All of that's going to be here. Very nice and very easy to use. There's your power parking brake. If you're wondering where that is, I always like to make sure I show that. And then the switch right here, control right here, is going to allow you to adjust the tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. The shifter paddles are nice and large here, but not oversized, I would say. Very easy to use. Obviously, you can gear up and gear down through your 10-speed automatic transmission. You control the headlights and taillights here. This is where you're going to turn your fog lights on. The only difference between these two functions is that you can set your headlights to auto, but you'll have to turn your fog lights on or off. No auto functionality where that is concerned. And your steering wheel mounted controls, I think most people are going to know what is here as far as all of that goes. You can go through quite a few things as far as different features and functionality depending on what you want to do right here. And then we can go all the way down. You have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. As you can see, there's a lot going on here. And here is something that you might not know about with the MDX. When you turn your headlights on, you're going to see that they come on. The headlights and the tail lights, the brake lights work right there on the likeness of your MDX, and the turn signal indicators are also going to work as well. That's a good incentive to use those. That way when you're driving down the road, you can let other people know what you're doing. Makes things nice and easy for everybody. Over here, the control for your front and rear window wipers. With your upper console, here's how you're going to control that power shade I told you about for your panoramic sunroof. I have drawn that forward again, and here's how you're going to open and close the panoramic sunroof. I'll give you a quick look at some of the other buttons that are here. And you'll have your sunglass holder. Always a nice thing to have. I'm starting to see that in fewer vehicles, it seems, in this day and age. And your 12.3-inch center screen. If you haven't looked at the MDX for the last few years, guess what? This is now a touch screen. You may not have known that. And over here on the right hand side, you can go through a few different things. Now you can't get rid of what is over here, but you do have a few different options you can work your way through depending on what you want to see and have displayed right there. But this is a very nice, simple system to use. You can wirelessly pair your smartphone. You have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Alexa is going to be here. The Play Store. You can manage everything you need to as far as that goes. And when you go into reverse, you're going to have your multiple camera views. 3 different views here as far as that goes. When it comes to your vehicle settings, here is where everything is going to be. Now you might notice that the MDX on the screen right there is not platinum white. You can change that. Go to menu, and then we're going to go to body color. Now this is only on the screen. You can't actually change the color on the actual exterior. Yes, I have actually had people ask about that. Keep in mind, the people who would ask that question and think that I'm saying you are changing the exterior color on the outside by simply doing this, they also are out there on the road driving with you most likely. Watch out for those people. But you can see what all is here. A very nice modern look. Depending on what you need to do, you've got all of your different options and selections here. You can change the view if you need to. Depending on what you want to do, you can change everything. You can see your different options right there. You can even change the driver's display if you want to. Now that's going to change based on driving mode. When you go through the different modes, you will see what all you have as far as that goes. We're going to have quite a few. I'll show you what those modes are in just a second here, but just to show you the different looks. There is Sport. That's my favorite. And here's what we have. We're going to have Normal, go down to Sport, Comfort, and Snow. And all I'm doing is using this dial right here. If you push in the middle, you can go to Individual mode, where you can go in and change everything that has to do with the way the vehicle runs, the way it drives, all that good stuff. You can make changes with things such as turning idle stop on and off. Now here's the thing about that. You're still going to have to do something to get into that mode, which means you're going to have to push a button right here. So it's kind of the same thing as pushing this button to turn idle stop off or on. Some of you might want to leave that on, but you're going to have several different options as far as that goes for the engine, for your steering, a couple of different options there, and your gauges. You can change that, as you can see. I've shown you what that looks like ultimately, and your ambient lighting. We're going to have several different options there, 3 different options ultimately, but that does count as several, doesn't it? But there are options where that is concerned. Dual zone climate control, you can sync both sides together if you want to. You have your heated and ventilated seats. I had the ventilated seats turned on today. That is always beneficial, especially here in Northwest Louisiana. It seems like no matter what time of year it is. Now you see the auto stop start or idle stop button right there to turn that off or back on. You also have brake hold right here. And there are your USB ports if you need to use those. The one thing that a lot of people tell me they don't like is the push button shifter. Tell me what your thoughts are where that is concerned. We'll find your wireless charging pad and your cup holders right here and the center console. Now there are a couple of different options here. There's the smaller area of the center console, or we can open and gain access to the larger section that has a couple more USB ports. You can see that I paired my smartphone via Apple CarPlay because I wanted to give you a demonstration with the Bang & Olufsen 19 speaker premium audio. Hopefully my mic does a good job of picking it up for you for those of you that want to hear this. We won't go too long with that, but I know a lot of you have been asking for me to do that in my videos, so I hope that gives you the sampling that helps you to know what it sounds like. It does sound really great in person. I don't think my microphone really does it justice. For those who want to know about safety features, here's what we're going to have. You have your forward collision warning distance, adaptive cruise control. You're going to also have your road departure mitigation, lane keeping assist, blind spot information. We'll have our traffic sign recognition, and then we'll also have traffic sign recognition system for the speed limit warning, as well as driver attention monitor. Okay, here we go on our test drive with the MDX, a vehicle that features a nice balance of a comfortable ride quality but also great handling. Sometimes you get one or the other, but not often both. But that is definitely the case here. The driver's seat is nice and comfortable. A lot of adjustability built into the seat and the steering wheel, which means unless you're extraordinarily tall or maybe extraordinarily not so tall, you shouldn't have any trouble at all adjusting things to where you're comfortable, you're able to see well, and don't have any trouble driving at all. The seat itself is very comfortable, and you do have the flat bottom steering wheel, in case I didn't mention that earlier in the video, which I don't believe I did. The technology here is not difficult to deal with, although there were changes where that is concerned for 2025. A lot of the time people are nervous about that and think, oh man, new technology means more difficult to learn and use. Not necessarily, and that's definitely not the case here. You just have actually the added advantage of having a touch screen, something that we didn't have until 2025. And I know there was a lot of people, that was the most common comment I received on MDX models prior to the 2025 model year that I had in my videos over the course of the last few years. And so that should make a lot of people very happy. Plenty of room. I don't feel cramped at all. I have a lot of room to where I could adjust things more than what I have, but I'm on a very short test drive, so I didn't try and get everything just perfect as far as my driving position goes. The mirrors and everything are set where I want them. And you can program that and use your seat memory buttons over here on the driver's side door so that everything as far as your power side view mirrors go and your seat and all that good stuff will return to the position where you had it based on the remote you have in the vehicle. One thing that's very important, because I've had a lot of people ask questions where they didn't realize that you need to make sure that you have the same remote you had in the vehicle when you made all of your settings as far as anything that's based on memory goes, or if you're using individual drive modes, the selection there for your screen, everything is going to be based on the remote that is in the vehicle at the time. Also a very easy vehicle to see out of, very well rounded as far as that goes. Now keep in mind, there are going to be people out there that say, Tom, I would really like to have more than 290 horsepower. Well, we're going to have a video coming up for you very soon on the MDX Type S, where you're definitely going to see a nice increase in power. But overall, I'd say this is a very nice vehicle. But tell me what you think about the prices and the features that you get for that price. And there it is, the 2026 Acura MDX A-Spec. Is it worth every penny? Tell me what you think down in the comments. I'm always curious to receive your feedback. I'd like to say a special thanks to my friends at Acura for loaning me this MDX for the day so that I could tell you all about it, and a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. Please be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos, and if you would, share this video on your timelines on social media so other people can see it. I greatly appreciate that. If you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.